Hello, everyone. How's it going? So, episode 6, season 4 of The Boys is here, and it's my favorite episode so far. Like, it actually gives me hope for this season because I haven't liked this season. You probably already know if you watched my last review, and I got disliked to hell. I rewatched the episode after watching this episode because you kind of need. They run complementary to one another. I know it's a TV series, but the ending of the previous episode definitely is important to this episode. But either way, I think it's the best one because it addresses a lot of the issues I've had. Like, I know I've stated, like, it feels very artificial by the numbers. They're not taking risk. Here, they actually seem like they're taking risks. They're actually doing stuff that I like because it's stuff that you don't see coming, or maybe people did see it coming. I'm just brain dead. But it addresses a lot of the stuff that I had a problem with this season. So what is the focus here? Well, the boys are trying to figure out what Homelander and Sister Sage's plan is, and Homelander and Sister Sage are trying to get their plan into action. Sister Sage and Homelander are trying to enact the 25th Amendment, and for that they need some of the most powerful people in the United States, the corporate owners, the people who run the prison, to deliver the oil, who run the fast food companies, all those people to say yes on this and basically, in a way, endorse a coup, basically. And it's really well done how they systematically build up to that one meeting. But let's get back to the beginning of the episode. First off, they do address Huey and Daphne dealing with Huey's father's death, and they do a kind of really profound funeral where they dump his ashes as they go on a tour for one of his favorite movies. And you also see how Kimiko is dealing with Frenchie turning himself into the police. It definitely showcases that he doesn't want to, he flat out doesn't want to see any visitors because, as we saw in the previous episode, he feels like he just can't be forgiven, that he needs to be punished, and he doesn't want to talk to Kimiko about it because we already know he just is so, he doesn't know how to deal with it. Like, he loves her, but at the same time, he wants her to hate him, but she can't come up to hate him. She's just worried about him and loves him so dearly that it seems like not that she would forgive him for what he's done with the cheating. I feel it's more like she wants to be there for him, to share his pain with her as she shared her pain with him. Like, they've gone through hell and back, and it's clear like she just cares for him in such a profound level that he just doesn't want her to see him at his lowest state. But they get things running with Spider-Man and Batman in this episode. Basically, the Spider-Man character is Webweaver, and the Batman character is Tech Knight. Basically, as you might expect, they're degenerates, with Webweaver being a drug addict and a sex addict, with Mother Milk supplying him with drugs in exchange for being a CI for him. But of course, he overdoses on the drugs and it leaves him incapacitated, but they need him to get into the party for Tech Knight because Tech Knight still respects this guy for some reason, despite the fact he's a degenerate. But we'll see why, because Tech Knight ends up being a degenerate himself. He's basically Batman, but all his senses have been amplified to 200. Think like the Limitless movie. Basically Batman with that pill, but with all the most degenerate things you could possibly imagine. So Huey decides to put on the costume and go in the party instead because he shares the same build, and because Webweaver was such a drug and sex addict, his smell is being masked by the costume which he used for his axe, which allows him basically free reign in a way as he plants bugs around the house in order to find out what Homelander and Sister Sage are all about. So that's kind of the central focus of the episode, trying to find out the plan while remaining hidden as Discount Batman, tries to do certain things to Huey, thinking that he's Webweaver, and let's just say it goes really extreme. If you have a weak stomach for certain, let's just put it out there, BDMSL, you probably don't want to watch this episode, but you might want to fast forward through some stuff. Let's just say it's a bit uncomfortable. Firecracker is also there, and we also see more of her trying to become more part of the Seven. She's still trying to get with Homelander, but it's less about her trying to get with Homelander in a way for his power and influence, and more about her feeling like she belongs. She feels like an outsider among the Seven, just there to influence the crowd that she's accumulated over her influencer career and trying to get back at Starlight. She genuinely wants to feel like she belongs, and Sister Sage and Homelander treat her like a joke until eventually she does get what she wants. She kind of feels like Madeline, but Madeline in a way that cares more for Homelander, and it's really twisted. Let's just say that. I think that what they're doing with Firecracker's character is actually really well done. She just wants to belong. She wants to feel like she has friends and people that care about. Black Noir is there in the Deep, and you can see the Deep is becoming more and more unhinged. She's using violence as a way for control and convinces Noir to do the same. Let's just say I feel bad for the Black Noir character because he doesn't really understand the gravity of the situation he's in, and I feel like he's kind of just playing it like a role, like an actor, and that's what he is. He wants to act, he wants to do that stuff, but at the same time, I don't think he really understands what's going on here. He just feels like he's just playing a part. But I feel like Black Noir and the Deep's character is kind of sidelined in a way, but they do enough with them to give them agency, let's put that. But definitely the star of the show, the episode, is Billy Butcher. I don't want to spoil things. Let's just say the questions that we have for his situation definitely get answered here. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I was definitely shocked at the revelation, but it pieces together everything that's been transpiring very well. But definitely the ending is absolutely shocking. I loved it, and it definitely paints both sides of Billy Butcher. The side where his wife is remaining his conscience, and the side where Joe is embodying his more murderous side. Let's just say it's really, really good. But I really think that the ending of this episode is absolutely brilliant because it comes into motion everything that Homelander is not and everything that he is. So this is going to be... Now let's talk about spoilers. So the final meeting between all these powerful figures kind of runs parallel with Homelander still needing people, but at the same time wanting and yearning for that independence where he doesn't need anyone whatsoever. So in the final meeting, Sister Sage is incapacitated. He needs her to talk to these people because this is her plan, and she's been running logistics about everything, but she's incapacitated. I won't say how because it's one of the shocking moments of the episode, but it runs parallel of what happened between her and the Deep. I kind of didn't like that about the previous episode, but here, you know, I'm pretty sure one of the writers caught this and said we have to have something previously on in order to justify what happens in this episode. But she's incapacitated, and we do get an idea of why Sister Sage is the way she is. Let's just say one of my biggest complaints about her is I never really understood why she hated people so much, why she doesn't use her intellect to become very wealthy, or, you know, just showcase her absolute control over humanity. And here, it actually has a really good argument. The reason that she doesn't care and actually wants people to burn, because even though she has all the tools to save everyone, is because she lost someone she really cared about. Her grandmother was dying from a horrific cancer, and she wanted the help. And within a few days, she was able to discover a cure, but unfortunately, she needed the help of the medical professionals to synthesize the cure. She couldn't make it herself. But because she was a kid, they laughed at her. And when they laughed at her, her grandmother died in pain, kicking and screaming. It reminds me of BoJack Horseman of how Beatrice died. And because of that, she doesn't give a damn. She doesn't care about anyone and whatsoever. That's why she's so against democracies, because it was technically a democracy that laughed at her and allowed her grandmother to die. And because of that, she's just like, I can cure cancer, I can save the world from global warming, but I don't care because fuck them. They talk down to me, so I'm going to watch them burn their entire society to the ground. And she kind of uses that as a way to convince Victoria, because Victoria has this moment where she's talking to a certain political figure that runs parallel with another political figure. I'm trying not to talk about it because I know how that's a hotbed. You'll know what I'm talking about it when you watch the episode. And it runs parallel with Victoria as well. Like, she's talked down to, they feel like she's an idiot, and it's just like one of those things where I can't blame her. Like, at its core, it's simple, but it's very effective storytelling because it justifies what's going on. It's not complicated. It goes right into the middle, but at the same time, it complements everything that Sister Sage is all about. Why she hates people, why she plays them like puppets, and why she doesn't care about all the horrific things that are happening around her, despite knowing that probably millions will die in this entire process. But yeah, what comes to the meeting is it highlights how Homelander is just not equipped with this situation to combat it. Like, he can be an extremely popular figure to the layman, the people who don't know any better, the people who just take whatever he says as gospel, like he stated to Sister Sage. He's like, I save people, they cheer. I kill people, they cheer. And in this situation, he tries to use those same tactics against these people, even though they're well equipped. Like, that's the thing. They may come off as very foolish and very stuck in their times with lackluster knowledge of modern day politics or even like any type of modern day empathy. But at the core of it is that they do understand how the US government operates. And when they start to poke holes into Homelander's plans, he can't use violence against them because that's his whole thing. He gets violent and uses intimidation in order to get what he wants. But he can't do that here because these people are the most powerful people in the United States. He needs them. So who comes to his aid? Victoria, with help of Sister Sage, who manipulated her to come to Homelander's aid, probably predicting that she needs to convince her. Like, this is something I already touched on. She's a really well-equipped psychiatrist. She's able to manipulate people. So I don't know how much of what she said was real, but at the same time, it runs so well of what Sister Sage is a character that I believe that what she said was real. But nevertheless, Victoria comes to Homelander's aid and basically convinces everyone to agree to this coup that they're planning. Like, she does such an effective and very well thought out job just by the numbers and on the fly. She is really Stan Edgar's daughter. He really trained her so well that she's able to manipulate people on a political level that only Stan can do. And here it's so well done, and you see the Homelander is just getting angry with the mouth twitching and everything. Anthony Starr does a brilliant job, and you can just see that the control is leaving him. Where he thought he killed his past is coming back to haunt him. He still needs others to help him, and he absolutely hates it. He just doesn't like it. He even talks down to certain supes like Tech Knight, saying that you're not on my level, dude. You can't even fly. It's kind of like a quip that Superman would have towards Batman, because Tech Knight is basically Batman. It's like, dude, I can kill you with a freaking one of my fingers, just tap you and hit you against the wall. But yeah, but you also see that Homelander is starting to go back to his original behavior, because Firecracker uses that type of need that Homelander wants from, I wouldn't say a partner, but from someone who can take care of him. Let's just put it like that. I don't want to get into any more graphic detail because it was one of those scenes that left me very uncomfortable. But I felt like the ending of the episode is really just a highlight. You finally see what Butcher is dealing with. Like, they go full out and just reveal it, and it's so well done that it leads you to wonder what the ending will be about. Because let's just say there are a lot of people that Billy is dealing with. Not only demons and angels. He's dealing with demons and angels, literally. Let's just put it like that. And it is so cool because it leaves a lot of questions open, and I am super excited for not only the next episode, but the next season, because it's clear they know what they're leading up to. And even though I kind of know what's going to happen based on the comic, and now with this, I don't know, like, what happened between Homelander's situation, Sister Sage situation. It leaves me guessing, and that's why I really like it. But tell me what you think about the episode in the comments below. I really liked it, and that's it from me. Like, dislike, your choice. Goodbye.